Alright, let's go to freaking Pot Hill. We gotta go at just the damn pot. Yep, I know. Correct angle to look at this from. It's freaking it's the hardest thing ever. I pressed E, I wanted to turn it. Okay, do that and then give it a little. I pressed E again. I should have pressed R. Honestly, not my fault. It's like E and R, really? I mean, look at that's pretty damn good, man. What do you mean? Correct angle to look at this dang pot from. That doesn't look right. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That kind of looks like the blue badger. This isn't right. I've got to make it look more like the blue badger. Allow me to remind the defense case hangs on the witness's drawing. Can't match. We cannot accept his claim. Find just the right angle. Rotate it. Ba, 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 ba. That kind of looks like it, doesn't it? What do you mean? It's right. I pressed E instead of R again. Bro, this shit is crazy. I'm gonna look up the damn answer. It's this, but maybe we instead of that we turn it around. I pressed E. I didn't want to press E, bro. First of all, wah, and then fucking wah. Da, 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 da. I don't know, kind of like that. Oh, it does fit. Well, is this a miracle or what? It is, bro. Finally, we got that. No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. Incredible. Incredible. Whatever you say, buddy. No, it can't be. Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. No. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remained. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything, right? No, it does. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed. Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? The murder weapon, the murderer, the location. The location seems about right. The murder weapon changes. The murderer changes. Yeah, because then someone killed someone with this dang pot. It has to be freaking Grant who came in later. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. On a shelf. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Grant. Objection. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's death. Ooh. The witness testified so herself. Objection. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Drake and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Grant's office. That makes sense. As she could see from the big window. Objection. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Grant's office to Lana Sky's office across the room? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. There is. Exactly. Oh. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? Oh. I have finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. Okay. Statue? If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? The freaking giant. Oh, he stabbed himself on the freaking spear. On the big statue spear. The giant. The suit of armor. Holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, it has to have been freaking Marshall. He would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility. Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall, he killed him. got stabbed here. What the hell is going on? He killed him. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? Is true, very true. No! Heard. She got knocked out. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented. Objection. He objects. What? What are you saying? I am sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances, Joe Drake murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. Oh. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I am willing to bet you don't. Yes. It certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. Oh. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. Well, we could if we got frickin' Maya and Mia back. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. He's like, no, I have dead people. Huh. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. Oh. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another. That's impossible. Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I've got to think back to the court record. I think I know, the fingerprint on the hand. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright! Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? No. Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. No. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright. Please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. It has to be the cloth. Right, it has to be this. This is the message from the deceased. Yes. Right. Now then, this is the message from the judge. Oh, I guess that wasn't right. Oh, okay. Is in the evidence. Like, no, no, no. Not be mistaken. Now then, Mr. Wright, we save again. Keep us good. Please show us a piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. I mean, it bears Emma Sky spirits. Right? A clear handprint can be seen on the leather cloth. The print belongs to Emma. I think I'll keep this information to myself. Okay. Your deceased Neil Marshall, between 7 and 7:30, caused a single stab wound piercing heart lung. Died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. Road raid killings. There's nothing really here. Ah, the lines on the blood traces. The dark red stains must be blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. What does that look like? I don't know. Only the fragment found in Chief Grant's office still has lines remaining on it. That has to be it. He drew that. The pot. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. But I have luminol testing fluid. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No, she's biting her thumb, man. Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I have got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Okay. Oh god. Well, it says Emma, doesn't it? That's definitely M. It's Emma, bro. Hence proved it's Emma. I can't drag this little middle line here. Oh no, but this undo. No. I said undo, asshole. Oh god, that's all the way back here. The message, Blue Badger. Yeah. Yep. So we save just to be sure. Murderer's name. All right. Now, a lot of these cannot even be used. Thing is, this is definitely an A. Look at that. And then this is like for sure an M. Well, the E is upside down though. Makes so much more sense. It is like so, and then we just forget about the E there. Just present this. Does say Emma. It's the defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Everyone's stunned. Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Sky. Boom. Okay, dramatic. See, Worthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Oh, hello, buddy. Chief Grant, do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Drake was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Hack. Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Objection. I object to this. But Joe Drake really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. He's like, oh, I don't know about that, buddy. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We are merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Oh. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. Oh my god, that's creepy. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it was his fault? Wasn't his fault. Order, 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 order! We can't postpone again. The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. To be continued. We just proved that her sister killed this guy. Then it was moved. The body was then moved, but by whom? They think it was Lana. But I think it was freaking Grant. February 25th, 12:06, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. You're not even part of the police force. Oh. Oh. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. No, you get over here. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? This has happened before. You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law book. Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. For dummies, I'm guessing. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. So see, the rule number 1 is police department. So it's their fault. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? He said if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Yeah, I should know this already, but they both sent me the same book. Evidence law securely slipped into pocket. Evidence law from Miss Sky explains the 2 rules of evidence law. Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. We'll see. Check the evidence law book. Rules for submitting evidence. Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. So you can show unregistered evidence. It must be relevant, that's all. Or no, you can't. What? I don't know. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. Oh. She merely struck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. And the real killer of the Joe Drake killing is also probably the other guy. What? and we are going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Oh, but we're going back in, bros. February 25th, 12:52, District Court, courtroom number 9. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Okay. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, cough, cough. This isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have struck a bargain. Ooh. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright. Oh. You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. I know, we gotta call someone. The defense calls... The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Well, it's him. Damon Grant. The defense calls Damon Grant to the stand. Damon Grant? What does he have to do with anything? As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Grant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? I mean, if he says no, then he's saying that the chief of police is capable of being manipulated. True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Grant to the stand. We got him. Look at that. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. He's not happy. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Grant. Fine. My name is Damon Grant. I am the acting chief of police. Acting. Now then, Chief Grant, the court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. No, no. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. Ooh. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Are you threatening me in a damn court? House? Weapons? Sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Hmm. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. He threatened him to just to give the testimony or else something bad will happen. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. Let's go, let's break him apart. Witness testimony, SL9 incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Drake was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Okay. And then he was just unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Drake bumped his head. Really? I see. Everything seems pretty clear cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. What do you mean hard and fast? I'm gonna ask him a lot of questions, obviously. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. Hold it. How can you know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means you found the body near Lana's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier. It was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor? Yes. Yes. Anyway, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Press him there. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office. That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. Oh. If you're going to stare at anything, you're better off staring at the court record. He's giving me hints. Worthy, always the smooth talker. But which piece of evidence ties Grant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence. But that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Grant to the incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. That's probably what spooked Drake and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lana Sky also present in the room? I don't quite remember. At the very least, he wasn't there when Drake ran for it. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. Okay. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? That's right, but Drake made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky. Couldn't you see where the elevator was going? What's this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil was when that knife went out into his heart though. What the hell, man? That's not funny. Yeah. Memento as I found Lana there. That's the last hold it. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Drake was also lying collapsed on the floor below him. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lana and Emma. Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. Oh. I had nothing to do with the forgery, really. Half of this list was found in Grant's desk. Final fragment found in Chief Grant's safe. Emma is written on the blood. I mean, there's a lot linking you, by the way. So let's start with the pot. You know what? Let's start with the list. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. No. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list for example. That's the list Emma Sky drew her picture on. This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe. It was found where? You see, Chief Grant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation. And you're wearing gloves, by the way. Chief Grant, what is the meaning of this? Oh. Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with it? You mean I placed all that shit there? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. No. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Waito? Objection. He also objects. However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. The judge is old as hell. Evidence and forgery. Witness testimony. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Drake was convicted, then they are worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any other way. In any way. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? When investigating the crime scene... No. You should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Dudgy. In return, though... I know. That place, right? What place? Huh? What are these guys, telepathic? Fishing, swimming, or whatever? Evidence and forgery. Alright. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Hold it. I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. What? I'll have you know, back in the day I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped... What the hell are we talking about? Mr. Wright, what are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Raito's prints are found. Yes. If they are found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal. Grr. I've never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. You should wear gloves, bro. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. Objection. If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Drake was convicted, then they're worthless. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. We have the list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Drake was sentenced. Objection! We have the list. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. No. The chief is talking about a possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know. Come now, Righto. Think about it. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Oh, remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Sky. Well, now do you see? Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Really, Chief Grant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? Your promotion? That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police. Oh, the resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Hmm. Ho ho ho. Oh, that's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I am that incompetent? What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 nearly sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway. Gah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. To owe freaking Lana something. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Udgi, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Ah, but there was something. Right, you sent her away and she agreed to it, right? So there definitely was something. Nothing in it for you? Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again. You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone. Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. Ho ho ho! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Point out accomplice. He definitely did, right? He helped Lana's sister. In exchange, she did whatever the hell he asked. And he sent her to the damn prosecutor's office. Oh, what the hell did I do? Is it still freaking... I hit a damn button on my keyboard, the stealth button. But sure, we'll point out the accomplice. True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright. It appears you are positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Grant may have helped forge evidence? He helped Chief Grant. No, he didn't. But he helped Lana Sky. The defendant and chief prosecutor for the district, wounded on the right hand. Sir. Chief prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister Lana? And as for Chief Grant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Grant. But how would he profit from all this? Because she could control her. He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? What the hell? No one says anything. Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do their bidding. Never mind. Great. Admit it, chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive, to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Right, oh my boy. You have quite an imagination. And if we can prove this, we can prove that she did help. She did try to cover up the body because he told her to. Yeah. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I have done such a thing? Lana. She is keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Grant. No. I am afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless... that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? Of course I'm talking about... Yep. The murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Grant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency, who accused the chief of police of blackmail and murder. That's impossible. Impossible. What do you mean impossible? Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. He's like, yep, nope. It's too late, Mr. Wright. Ooh. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Good question. Oh. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Grant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I gotta look at this evidence, bro. He's like, yes. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Grant to the murder of Detective Goodman. What ties him to the murder? This knife. Knife ties him to the murder. Maybe it's this knife. Well, Chief. So long as Raito here is tossing out things regardless of their relevance. Mind if I toss something too, Wadgi? This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you. You always were quite the joker, weren't you? Oops. Looks like I got it wrong. Don't oops me. Maybe this boot to the head will knock some sense into you. Oh. Alright then, we'll save again. I don't know what I mean this I thought the knife does. Talking about a muffler to Emma. I mean the ID. This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. All sevens. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that that's my card number. It's your number. Oh. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Grant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? You don't mean... No. I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was all 7. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Grant. Oh, he's mad. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Order. Chief Grant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Grant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Yes to say yes. What about it? I am chief of police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me. When you entered the room, were you alone? Obviously he wasn't. I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. What do you mean days? Objection! You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Grant. I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman because the award ceremony was there. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. Thank you, Edgeworth. If Chief Grant met the victim on the day of the crime, he could have committed it. then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Grant on the day of the crime. The I think report can only be submitted to the Chief of Police. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police. Yet you are in possession of the report. Which means you can't be sure he filled it. He filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to. Evidence transferal, bro. Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Grant. Then you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. Oh, he's freaking mad as hell. I accompanied him? Yes. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. The murderer is you. Hold on. Let me guess what you're gonna say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman. Yes. Exactly. But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe you must have done something of the sort. Objection. No, you can't do that. Sorry, but that's not possible. Ooh. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on this body, damn straight. Nah. No, oh my god, he's turned into a damn Pokemon. Chief Grant, you didn't. Ah. The murder was most likely a spur of the moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. You stuffed the body into the in your boot. How did he manage to move it there? I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you are the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Grant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space. How could the chief have moved this body? In the car. Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. It's the car stub, right? To move the victim's body, Chief Grant used this. It's stub, right? Nothing else? Stub. This is how we moved Detective Goodman's body. A parking stub? Miles Edgeworth? You mean... The The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Your car? You mean I carried the victim's body? Precisely so. But wait, even you know. I didn't plan on returning to my office, but he asked you to return the damn screwdriver after the ceremony finished that day. But you did return. Tell me why. He remembers. I was asked to go by Chief Grant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Boom, baby. So you see, what you were really taking to the prosecutor's office wasn't the screwdriver, but the victim's body in your trunk. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief? Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? Does he have a reason? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Sky. Order, order, order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusation? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Grant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we are going to make it in time for the early bird special. No, you're not. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. No. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Grant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright, Your Honor, do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Sky dispose of his body. Bro, that's like hard proof to get. Do I have any concrete proof? Sure. I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. Ba, 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 ba. Marshall's fingerprints. Fit in rubber glove. ID. This a murder weapon. This. So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof as to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge. He's gonna say it's not. But I am the judge. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? What I think, Mr. Wright, is I'm going to be late for lunch. Yes. Do I have any concrete proof? What do you say? What if I say I have no proof yet? It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. Ha! See, Yadgi? In that case, this course is forced to penalize you for your allegations against you, Chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, righto? It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Edgy, I'll leave the rest to you. He's just gone. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. Oh, wow. Lady Luck, Maybe you should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth, another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Grant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial, someone right in this very room. Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Huh, no. Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth. But we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth, we have to call forth Lana. The defendant, Miss Lana Sky? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body in accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. The court is now in Hold on. Huh? Chief Grant, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claim, there will be terrible consequences. He's threatening her right in front of us. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. Ah, this isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Everyone's stunned. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, This court is now in recess. No one finds that he keeps popping in and threatening people odd. February 25th, 2:04 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Yeah, I suppose we did. And I'll see you in the next one. It's getting hot, bro. It's getting real difficult. Alright, see you in the next one.